R-Truth is one of the most universally adored WWE superstars of all time. So today, I'm hitting a finisher with R-Truth in every WWE game, starting with his first appearance, WWF Raw for the Xbox from 2002. Now, this would be the only time he'd appear in a game as K-Quick, and it turns out he was actually released from WWE about 6 months before the game even came out. And while he probably has the best entrance in the entire game, it doesn't change the fact that this game is ass. His finisher back then was actually a sit-out suplex facebuster, and just as quickly as K-Quick arrived, he was gone. 7 years later, however, he would re-sign with WWE as R-Truth and make his return in SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. Truth re-debuted with a respectable 83 overall, with his highest stat actually being Charisma at 85, no surprise there. And once again, he had one of the best entrances in the game, coming out through the crowd, interacting with the fans, all singing his song. Jey Uso, eat your heart out. His finisher this year was actually his corkscrew axe kick, which would turn into his signature in the coming years as he would adopt the lie detector and eventually Lil Jimmy as his finish. The following year, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 was released, with Truth getting a nice bump to an 86 overall, still rocking that 85 charisma. At this point, Truth was already a very heavy fan favorite. His song was over, his catchphrases were over, and he backed it all up by providing solid mid-card matches during that time. So with the axe kick now being his signature, his main finish had become the lie detector, which is essentially a corkscrew flying forearm. And while it might not have been the hardest hitting finish at the time, it looked cool as hell. Like, let's be honest. They also really went all in on the sweat mechanics this year. I can almost see my reflection in his chest. Jesus. WWE All-Stars is up next, a game that holds a special place in my heart. However, as some of you may already know, R-Truth was actually not on the original game roster. Instead, he was added as a DLC character. Unfortunately, if you don't already own this DLC, there's no way to get it. So big shout out to the channel Ozone for this R-Truth footage. Just an insane looking finish. Miz flies a million feet in the air, man. I love this game. Back to reality, however, with WWE 12 from THQ. 85 overall this year for Truth, not bad. Once again, that charisma really helping him maintain that rating. Now, Truth is starting to get a little crazy around this time. He's talking to an invisible person. His whole attitude has switched up, and he's got a new finisher that would take on the name of his invisible friend, Lil Jimmy. Wrestling is awesome. Shout out Alex Riley, too, by the way. Awesome song, bro. Keep it up. A year later comes WWE 13, giving Truth an 87 overall rating, which would be his highest ever rating in a WWE game, along with 2K14. 100 jump, 95 agility, 85 charisma, 90 tag team rating. Also, one half of the tag team champions with Kofi. This was a fantastic year for Ronald, honestly. Check this move out right here. Check this move out right here. It's sick. I'm gonna need to speak to whoever mocapped that. At this point, the WWE games were trying to lean towards realistic gameplay and presentation, but things were about to change in a big way. Look at this man talking to his hands. Crazy. WWE 2K14, the first wrestling game under the 2K banner. Truth coming back in at an 87 overall, and is now using the entrance animation he'll be using for quite some time. We got wake-up taunts this year, and poor Daniel Bryan does not know what's about to hit him. Lil Jimmy. Hold on, let me hit this real quick. With the WWE game series now under full control from 2K, I'm sure it'll all be smooth sailing from here. Right, Ron? Hello? WWE 2K15 and 2K16 would follow, with Truth coming in at an 83 overall for both. Lower than previous years, but again, still respectable. And even though 16 had a little bit of a graphical advantage over 15, these games felt interchangeable, which would unfortunately be a theme for this series going forward. But then WWE 2K17 comes along and just decides to be the most disrespectful ass game ever, dropping R-Truth from an 83 down to a 71. That's a 12-point drop. This was around the time that Truth was like full-blown comedy character, really not winning a ton of matches, so I would understand a lower rating, but 71? Also, why is Fandango here? He did get an upgraded entrance this year, probably as, you know, an apology, but I'm sure WWE 2K18 will right the wrongs of its predecessor. Well, sort of. 76 overall for Truth, up 5 points from 2K17. Not the best rating, but what can you do? The same can be said for 2K19, because you'd probably have a hard time telling all these games apart. They did bump Truth up a little bit to a 77, so I guess that's a little something to be happy about for now. But nothing could prepare us for what was to come with WWE 2K20. The only way I can stand playing this game is with the big head mode on, because that's just like, look at this. That is the best thing ever. 79 overall for Truth this year, trying to scratch and claw his way back into the 80s. But we had to hit him with the little Jimmy and the lie detector, which I guess is too much for the game to handle because it crashed immediately after. But wait, what is this? The game that's going to redeem 2K in the eyes of the wrestling world? Not really. WWE 2K Battlegrounds, contrary to popular belief, had some really cool things in there. Unlocking the characters in these little action figure boxes is actually one of them. I thought that was pretty sick. Also, might as well get all of Truth's attires because I'm not playing this again. It didn't quite capture the same vibe that All Stars did, but there was something there. It didn't live up to its potential. So even though it had the Gronkster, can you believe it? Kind of like if Fight Forever, AEW Fight Forever, good base, just lacking in any sort of depth. The gameplay was decent and the finishers looked pretty sick, but I don't know, maybe one day we'll get another arcade wrestling game, but probably not. Then comes WWE 2K22 with Truth coming in at a 77 overall. This game essentially was meant to be a bit of a reset button for the 2K games. A lot of the gameplay adjustments were made. Some old features were added back. It definitely feels like it's moving in the right direction, right? So we'll take that as a W. Same can be said for 2K23, even though Truth is now down to a 72 overall. What are we doing? At this point in time, Truth is like a 45-time 24/7 champion, so I don't know how his rating is getting lower, but we gonna hit this little Jimmy and hit a little dance on Dominic. And we are down to our final 2 games. WWE 2K24 is next, and we have reached an insane and unforgivable level of disrespect here. 67 overall for Truth. 67. Seems like somebody in this company might be trying to keep him down. Oh, wait, there he is. It's him. Take this, Hunter. Take this. Dance on you. Dance on you. Dance on you. The COO gets a little Jimmy for making our lives miserable, and we celebrate the victory as we approach the final WWE game on the list, WWE 2K25. The most recent release from 2K, most current games, 71 overall here for Truth. I mean, it went up, but if this is actually Truth's final WWE 2K game, which it might be, he deserved a little better than that. Truth, however, now faces his biggest test yet as he goes one-on-one with his childhood hero, John Cena. After a back-and-forth battle of attrition, it's anybody's ball game when X-Pac comes down to the ring for reasons. Cena goes for the AA, and it seems all hope is lost for Truth, but at the last second, he gets the shoulder up. Cena tries for another attitude adjustment, but this time, Truth escapes. He plants Cena with Lil Jimmy. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a finisher with R-Truth in every WWE game. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at R-Truth in WWE games over the years. We are wishing Truth nothing but the best, and I hope to see him doing what he loves. Thank you, Truth, and thank you guys for watching. Peace!